Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today, for joining us. Um, Me and my moment of trying to bring the inspirations into spirituality. This process is really interesting because what happens to me is that usually it's people that give me the feed my spiritual creativity, right? So why do I say this? Usually, I can go very deep on spiritual chatting when I'm face to face with someone and when I have unlimited time. But in this case, I'm trying to keep many concepts in a small amount of time to keep more accessible to people with or without time. And in that, I don't always get to reach the points that I wanted to reach um, on our chat, on our speak, on our talk. But I'm always trying to delve more into spirituality little by little. And I realized very lately, I realized shortly ago that sometimes I focus on some topics and I try to explanate. Do you think it exists in English? Just a bit. Yeah, explain. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I try to explain a lot surrounding one subject, and because of that, the subjects they sometimes seem repeated between the lives, but still they are connected because I need to transcore. I need to explain things around it. So if I didn't get on one live, the subject gets back in here. And I was discussing with the bigger force these days, why is this happening? And he was telling me like some things I need to be told and I need them to go deep. So if a subject wasn't enoughly explored in one live, it will go back in another way on another live because we need to enhance and dive deep into some subjects on into some little topics that can make someone turn the key into their heads to understand what is the meaning of that. And I was like, but how is this going to happen? I mean, this is just mind explanation. People need to live it, experience this. And he was like, don't worry about that. People who reaches this place, they will meet somehow what they're looking for. And people who reaches this place, they are already involved with it a little bit. So they will be following through the process. They will pass in here through some point of their lives that will connect and make sense in some part of their hearts and minds. And with that in mind, what was my worriness about this? I was worrying about not being repeated. I was worrying about not feeling like it's the same old thing all over again. And he was like, hey, don't worry, this is not for you to worry. What will need to be reached in other people's hearts will happen whether you like to be repeated or not. So okay, here I am, right? And I'm always trying to bring new topics and new explorations into spiritual realms. But it's kind of hard when I don't have someone to talk to because it's people who give me ideas and creativity to explore more over there. And usually, when someone is willing to talk about that, and I'm always willing to talk about that, those two combined human energies, they create something bigger, like a channel that allows me to go even deeper and even larger on each subject. So it's kind of impressive to me that when I talk to people around there everywhere about spirituality, I can go like super really deep. But when I am on the lives, I feel like I'm missing that depth, the of being able to go really large and really deep into those subjects. So I will try to make the best use of this space to, even though I need to try to summarize things a little bit, it will happen sometimes of me being repeatable, because repeating myself, because I really need to go deep into some topics, like allowing pain to happen, believing in the weird things, believing on weird paths, and trusting on things as the way they are, and all of that. So I'm sorry if sometimes I make you feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's actually true. You're not feeling it wrong. I feel the same thing, okay? But it's part of the process. And with that in mind, I tried to go somewhere new. Not like new as in I'm creating that idea, but new as in a new topic for the channel, which is related to everything that I have just spoken on the last 2 months lives. And it's also related to the part of us that is allowed to be spiritualized and allowed to be connected. I'm sorry about the cats, they're doing noises again. Today I brought my little cup of coffee because, well, I'm Brazilian, right? So coffee. I'm not sure because I haven't tasted all of that, but everyone says that Brazilian coffee is one of the best. So I think I'm gonna keep my coffee around myself in the next lives. Even because we're in a morning chat, right? You guys are around somewhere at 8 a.m., I suppose. So it's good for me that we're having this kind of climate, this atmosphere of chatting in the kitchen with coffee. And also, with that in mind, I might as well say that maybe the scenery around me will change in a short amount of time, because my life is changing and the place here is being more fulfilled with other working activities. And I'm trying to organize the places to be acceptable and receptive to that new working environment we are creating. And that might means I'm gonna have to change scenery very soon. But leaving all that aside, which is part of my personal life, let's go back to spirituality. And what I chose to talk about today is our origin from the stars. Right? Some people have that so obvious in their minds, and it's so obvious to me too. But some other people don't actually see it. Maybe because they're too grounded on Earth. Let's go on the basics, right? Let's suppose, scientifically speaking, that there was indeed a Big Bang, which I don't discard, okay? It makes sense to me. But if it is true, let's start just there, just so you can come with me to this chat, okay? But if I'm right, and if this is right, and there was this Big Bang, so it is already scientifically spoken that our origins are on the stars. If not for that, be careful, Dane. It's too hard to discuss science and spirituality. I'm sorry, I'm gonna find a way to get there. Um, okay, if not for that, and maybe you are a non-believer, because there is this in life, right? There are the believers and the non-believers, and there are lines of beliefs, and some lines of beliefs don't accept other lines of beliefs. I receive all beliefs, and I'm a super believer. I'm so believer that I accept all religions and all of that, because to me everyone is just touching a bit different part of the truth. But the truth is everywhere. It was spread around everywhere on the world, so everyone could tap a little bit into it with their own way of talking about it, their own way of explaining it. So I'm a super believer. Whatever it is your religion, congratulations, you're already halfway there, because you already opened yourself up to spirituality. And to me, that is a halfway there, because it would be a lot harder if you didn't believe in anything, okay? Because then you would have trouble to understand about the bigger force that has created us all, whatever the name it is that you give to that force, okay? That's why I like to talk about it as force. And also because Star Wars fans will get me. And going back to the stars, okay, the our regions. If you are a non-believer, you really think you really think that half of the world would be talking about spirituality existing if it didn't exist? You really think that half of the world, I mean, if you're skeptical because of science or something like this, you really think that half of the world would be wrong? So you think that all these people are seeing incorrectly? Don't you think that it could be the other way around? Maybe you would be with some part of your eyes closed, which would be in this case your sensitivity, right? Because the thing about spirituality is realizing it through sensitivity and experience it. And to experience it, you would have to be open to feel it. So that's why I come from the idea of sensitivity. But in that point, if we were to talk about, and coming from a place of trying to bring skepticals to understanding that there could be something different, energies, right? Do you think that you could talk about energies? I mean, energy, some people realize energy, right? Maybe even when they're skeptical. And some people, they don't realize spirituality, but they know love. Oh, okay, about love. Okay, now okay, let's go on love. Okay, that's perfect. So love. I already spoke about this too. Okay, but let's go on this. Love. Let's take in love as a feeling. Let's think about love as a feeling, not as a love for someone else or love for something. Actually, try to take that, the core, the most essence of love. Try to take the essence of love and play with that feeling. Can you do that? Can you find love in you and play with that feeling? What is love, right? Love. What a weird thing, right? It's so bigger than us, isn't it? You feel love for something and you look it up your whole life and you keep looking and you cannot stop looking, because love into you causes you to keep looking for that thing, and it's unstoppable. And this is the eternal essence of love. So if you get to put the feeling of love all combined, concatenated, and create a nucleus, a core essence here, okay? Let's put the energy of love in here. Love. Okay, love. It's growing, okay? Okay, good. I like when it's growing. So you have the essence of love. Hey, love. Good morning, love. You have the essence of love. And in that essence of love, you have something that continuously grow, and it won't let you quiet yourself or calm yourself down, because it is a calling. Oh my god, but this is so, guys, this is so highly spiritualized. This is not very much basics. Help me out here. Okay, so you have this thing that is enormous, that rules your life without you even that's the thing, they don't sometimes people don't even realize that. Guys, help me out here. Okay, but you have this thing that you really need and you really want, and you're not having enough and you want more, and you keep looking for more ways of getting closer to it, and it's a feeling of passion, and it's so wow, and it's so blowing your mind that you need to haunt it, like haunt it, and you need to hunt that thing that it's a growing love inside of you for that thing that's actually calling you to believing. I'm sorry, I'm so intense right now. It's not the coffee, it's just that this got very big, guys. This got very big. So you have love. And can we think about love? Let's think about love. Okay, so take that feeling, the core feeling, try to feel that feeling. Try to take that feeling here and look at that feeling. Okay, look at the feeling. So you've got love, and you've got this thing inside of you that won't stop, won't let you quiet down. It wants more inside of you. And maybe you didn't even stop to think about that, right? Who keeps thinking about the passion that they have? They just have the passion. They just go with it. They just follow it through, and they just, okay, they create the whole path around the subject of their passion. Oh my God, this is the power of love. I understand that. Sorry, guys, this is too big. And where I want to reach, where is the, what is the part of love that I'm trying to reach in here with you guys? If you get to, sometimes when I try to concentrate myself, I do cockies. I don't know how cockies are called in English, but they help me get focused because my hair then can't distract me, all right? So this is it. Cocky. Coke. Okay. It's translating like Coke, but no, no, not that kind of Coke. Coque de cabelo, gente. Hair bun. Hair bun. Okay. Hair bun. Sorry. So gather the feeling of love, the thing that makes you move anything in your life. You have a love for your kid, and then you make the whole thing situation about your kid be surrounded by everything that represents love for you. So you try to give your kids the best school, the best hospitals, the best teachers, the best books, the best concepts. You try to teach the best of your knowledge for everything that you consider that can show your love for that kid, and it rules your ideas on how you will create that kid. But that's a good example. And why am I talking about creating a kid? Because you can see the path of love from the start of when the kid arrives to your life, or in being born, or is in adoption, and you follow all the growth of, you can follow all the path of love growing around, surrounding that kid with all your worriness and all you want to try to make it as most perfect you can for that kid. And you are being called, and it is something inside of you that is calling, and it calls you to do things, it calls you to create ideas, it calls you to create new paths, it calls you create a new lifestyle, it causes you to change your life from big city to nature to beach cities to experience things. Oh my God, guys, you're going too deep today. Are we supposed to go this deep today? Okay, there will be deep people around here too. Okay, okay, thank you. And that is so big, but I feel like this is so big for me to pass it on with words. Words that are so limited when we're talking about love. Because love is this huge, eternal, infinite thing that moves everyone's lives, right? I'm sorry, but this is too big, okay? I'm gonna try to get there. Okay, so let's feel love through our body. Can you feel love on you? Can you are you able to understand where the love is passing through you, where love touches you from within? I will get there, don't worry, I will get there. So okay, you have this thing on you calling you to live your life on the way you love to live. And sometimes if you're living on the way you not love to live, you feel sad about it and you feel like you need to change it. I'm trying in here to show you guys how love rules our lives. Because if we don't find what we love, we get super sad. And I've been there, okay? Before these many changes that I'm living now that are, oh my God, they're so huge and complicated, but still, I know I need to face them because they will lead me to the place where I would love to be in. And if you have this, and if you know this, and if you know that you're not living what you love, what you would love to live, you will know with yourself that there is something in you calling you for love. And the call. Okay, now the call. Okay, the call. So if you understand that love is ruling your life through the things you're passionate about, so you know there is an eager when we want something like so much, eager, eager, is that it? Eager, yeah, eager. When you're kind of anxious to get something, you're eager to acquire something or to live an experience or to whatever it is, the experience you're trying to live for in the name of what you're passionate about. If you know this part of you, that you are ruled by a passion, that you are ruled by your love for something, okay, then we are close to the connection with the bigger force. And I'm sorry to say that, but if you're skeptical, but if you can feel love, I'm sorry, you're not that skeptical. You are already connected to the bigger force, even though you don't know. You just don't know, but you are. So if you are skeptical, but if you can feel love, I'm sorry, you are super connected to the bigger force that you cannot name. And maybe you feel like you are skeptical precisely because it's hard to name something so big. And you don't know that that big thing ruling your life, which is love and passion, is connected right there. So you could be an skeptical, very spiritualized. That happens. Spiritualized. That happens a lot. I have seen many skeptical people so connected to the force that I was like fighting to God. I was like, how can this person be so blind? The person is fully connected to spirituality and yet is so blind. But yeah, the person is totally connected, is totally been ruled by spiritual forces and going to a very beautiful direction, and yet that person doesn't know that she's being ruled by the love force, to me, which to me is the same. And why is that connected to today's subject? So you have that thing on you that you don't know how it was created. You don't know why it touches you. You don't know why it touches you the way it touches you, but it touches you to call you to do something, to call you to leave something, to call you to create something, or to call you to invent and experience something. But you'd never, maybe you have, but maybe you never have asked yourself why and where did that come from, but you know that that thing on you is unstoppable. Okay, now we're there. That thing that is unstoppable, that is persistently calling you to live something and experience something and create something. That thing is so big because it is beyond, and it is from beyond. And I love the word beyond because beyond works for many things. And in this case, when I'm talking that this is beyond our imagination, this is beyond our lives, this is transcendent, and it is from outside the earth. So that thing on you that you may never ask yourself about, that is unstoppable, is it is filling you with somewhat thirsty for life, for an experience. Did you ever realize that you don't generate that? Did you ever realize that that comes to you, that is given to you? Did you ever realize that this is like a seed growing on you to flourish into something else? But it's not your creation. You are the receptor of it, you are the channeler of it. And you never asked yourself where did that come from and why that started on you and why it looks like this instead of like that. Because, for example, you could have love for science, but I have love for spirituality. Why love in me touches one place and on you it touches another? And for example, let's suppose okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pass the time, okay? But for example, let's suppose I'm in here and into spirituality, but I love arts. So I like an artist. Let me give a good example of oh, Hayao Miyazaki. I love the man, Hayao Miyazaki, the House Moving Castle, A Viagem de Chihiro's Travel, Chihiro's Trip. I don't know the name in English. Or what is the name of that guy of my favorite song? Um, just a bit. Cosmic. What is the name? Kitaro. Okay? Okay. So Hayao Miyazaki or Kitaro. So I love those guys. And sometimes I ask God like this, hey, why didn't you make me like Hayao Miyazaki? I wanted to make movies. I wanted to make animated drawings. Why I don't have that experience? Why didn't I go to that experience? Well, because in me, love calls me to grow into spirituality, not into drawings or movies. I mean, I almost did the university for radio and cinema, but I actually chose something else totally unrelated to my core essence, but it taught me a lot. It was very useful, and I lived through it a long part of my life. And I was always asking myself, I don't like what I live. Why am I living this? Why am I not living that? Okay, so this is part of understanding. Love on you is different from love on other people. And why do you think that that can happen? Now, focus on this. So, you have this thing that on you translates passion for science, on someone else translates passion for arts, on someone else translates passion for music or painting or acting or whatever arts, and in someone else it inspires looking for spirituality, and in someone else inspires to understand more about educational systems, and in someone else it inspires to how to create better health, nutrition, foods, and it goes on and goes on, and it is unstoppable. So why do you think that the same force that is from beyond can touch every one of us in a different way? So you have billions of people in our environment, in our called reality. And in every single one of these people, to which not one of them have the same digitals, right? We cannot repeat our digital drawings. So you're telling me that for everyone who was born, everything will be different from everybody else, and it will be like this as long as humanity exists, and it will always be different, and it will always rules people's lives, and it can never repeat itself. It can never repeat itself. It is always original, it is always new, it is always. Can you understand that that is like eternity in front of your eyes? Can you see that this is the infinity flourishing right in front of your eyes? And do you realize how infinite that is? Oh, but then, okay, then science comes and say, okay, no, but humanity one day will stop being, and Earth will someday stop being. Okay, guys, but love is transformative. Love transforms. Calm down, cat. And it will always be original because it comes from eternity that never needs to repeat itself. Oh my god, this is so big for me. And it is right there in front of your eyes. And this thing that can change everything, that can forever be original, that you cannot find a tree equal to another tree. Oh, so big that this is. Can you not see eternity in there? And if there is such thing as eternity and infinite growing, but okay, I'm trying to discuss with them because they got too deep. But so you think that this thing that is eternal and it is forever growing, it won't stop expanding? You think that that could have a limited beginning? Oh, but then in the Big Bang, it was an event. Okay, but who created the event? Oh, but there is always a point of creation. No, it came from eternity. There are things in life that they didn't start and they will not end, and love is one of them. Oh, but then passions transform. In a point of your life, you can have a passion for something, and then in another point of your life, you will have another passion. Yes, that is true. But do you know that you are the point in common? You are the channel through which these passions they can come, be experienced by you, stop being, and being transformed into something else. And that's the power of love, the transformation into something else. But it doesn't stop existing. It transforms, but it doesn't stop. And if you have this thing that is eternally expanding, and if you have this thing that you cannot even explain the beginning of it, you cannot explain the beginning of it. You really think that. Don't make that question. I don't want to make that question. I'm sorry, I don't want to make that question. Okay, let's go through another way then. So you really think that this thing that is eternally expanding, you really think that that had one point of starting to exist? No, I'm sorry, it was eternal. Everything that is eternal by concept cannot have had a beginning. Cannot have had a beginning, or otherwise it couldn't be eternal. So that love, that force of love, that is from the beyond and can touch us, can be connected on us because we're part of it. And this is my to me, this is the proof of our region on the stars, because even though we were born, love inside of us already existed, and it got transformed into us. And in that, you are to an eternal being. You don't know, but before you were born, you were already alive in another form, in another way. There are parts of your conscious that shows what you were going to live before you came here to Earth. And as Matrix says, right? Because I love the Wachowskis. You had already chosen. Now you're here just to watch what you chose, to learn from your choices. And if you've got that eternal thing going on, and even our belly buttons, right? They're eternal. We cannot, it's just a belly button on us, but they have so many million years before us in connected to the first humans. Oh my god, how can someone explain eternity, guys? It's too big. It is too big. Explain eternity. Portuguese nor English nor any language, I believe, would have enough words to talk about eternity. So I'm sorry, I don't know how to talk with skeptical people. They it feels to me like that they have one part of their bodies not functioning well. I'm sorry, I'm not being offended, but it is true, right? If I, okay, let's suppose I don't go to academies, so my arms are not that strong. My arm is, okay, it's a normal arm of someone who doesn't go to the academy. So I'm not developing the best works that my body could be through because I'm not going to a gym. Um, and this is possible in many parts of our body, okay? Some people don't see well, some people don't breathe well, some people don't, uh, whatever it is. And some people don't see eternity. And to me, it feels like if someone is not seeing eternity, that person is needing to work another part of her inner system. Because if she doesn't realize what half of the world sees, or more than half of the world, because I believe that skepticals are not half of the world, I believe there are a minority. But if they're feeling like skeptical, like non-believers, it feels to me that they are not seeing something. They didn't realize something that other people did. And there is a fight in that place, right? There is this kind of fight, conceptual fight, which is people who believe, who are believers, will never understand skepticals as much as skepticals underestimate believers. Because skepticals coming from science and because of the value of science, which I know what is the value of science, they are too based on having proofs. Okay, I like this. Thank you so much. I like that idea. And the thing is, if you just believe by having proofs, then you don't go that way. Sorry. And if you are about someone who needs proofs to believe, I'm sorry to say, but you would be between one of those people who killed Galileo because he was telling something new that yet, in that point, could not be proved by science. Okay, but now we are in 2024. Okay, but still, you think that science by now has already figured out everything? You don't think that there could be new things to develop? So You really think that more than half of the world would be seen incorrectly? Because to me, it feels like you are not using part of your system. And when I'm trying to, I'm sorry. I think this is not gonna go where I want this to go, but you think that if half of the world is seeing it, more than half of the world is seeing it from different perspectives, okay? Because I'm not against any religion at all. I know that they're seeing different parts of truth. But if more than half of the world is seeing it, you think that that half of the world is wrong? Really? You would think that more than half of the world telling you that there is something that they can see it, they are wrong? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say, but if you are skeptical coming from a place of science, which you need to prove to see everything and to believe everything, you're not working a huge part of your system, which is called, on the most basic way of talking about it, you're not seeing the value of intuition. And I don't feel pity for you because I almost could feel pity for you, but this is your path of growth through which you will also need to live in order to be able to maybe understand or maybe continue to not understand what other people are seeing. And it feels like sad to me because you're being apart from experiencing so many good things, okay? Because this is my favorite part of life, being able to experience spirituality. But then you deny it, so you cut half of the experience. And that's why I say, if you are a believer, you are already halfway there. Because if you are a believer, maybe you still didn't experience it, but it doesn't mean you won't. Because if you are a believer, you know that there are more things, and because you know that there are more things, and because you believe it, you will open opportunities in life to come to you so you can leave it. While skeptical people, while they won't open that part of being a believer, they will just experience half of life experience. And this is their path, this is their way, this is the thing that they have to live to be able to learn what they have to learn. And this, to me, the people who believe, they are one detailed step of realizing how much we are connected to the beyond. And this is why I'm talking about our region on the stars, because this is the beyond on us. So if you are into the beyond, and if you know the beyond, you cannot be limited. You cannot be just a body from earth. You have the body from earth, which is the earth part of you, but you also have that other thing on you that is connected to that eternity that some of us know so well. I would like to go further on this, but I know I am already very late. I have already passed my time a long ago. I'm sorry for that. If you are here with me so far, thank you for joining me today again, or not. Thank you for joining me for the first time. And come to Know Love and Moon Boutique, our page, because Love and Moon Boutique has many things that you can be inspired to create an environment to make your reality mirrors your spirit side of life. And in there, we built a very supportive page that you can, with any concerns or emotional questions or spiritual questions, you can use our text for support message. So there will always be someone there to answer you 24/7, to so you can explore whatever it is in your mind that you maybe you want to find someone to explore it with you. So you will have that support in there. And they created this space that I love with all my heart. I love being in here with you guys. And thank you so much, Love and Moon Boutique, for this space. Remember to subscribe to the channel and remember to give us your likes. This will help this space to grow, and this space of um, spiritual growth is supposed to be a path into healing for so many purposes, healing so many things in so many people. That would be lovely if this channel grew a lot into the world, so we can have people connected here to bring more of it into the world. And when I say that, is because I'm not here to teach, I'm not here to tutor, I'm here to help reflecting, okay? I'm here to help wondering about this, helping to grow whatever it is that we want to grow together. So bring ideas, you can bring questions. I would love to explore more subjects with along with people. I'm not supposed to be a teacher or a mentor. I'm just here to bring the subject to everyone, okay? Who likes it or who are curious about it. So thanks again. I hope you have a lovely week and that everything works out for the best. And remember, if you feel anything weird that seems to be out of place, remember to think it so you can grasp into that thing that I talked to you, that if you think it, it will come to a better result, okay? Thank you so much again. Bye, bye, bye. Kisses in your heart. Bye. Ciao. Yeah.